What is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome into the Sactown Sports Kings recap. My name is Chris Watkins, joining you live from Golden One Center after the Sacramento Kings take down the Atlanta Hawks by a score of 122-107, snapping the Kings' four-game losing streak. Yes, it is finally over. The beam is lit. I hear rumors, I'm hearing allegations that the beam is lit here in Sacramento after a interesting, to say the least, night. Wow, really did not expect tonight to be the Harrison Barnes night, but here we are sitting as Harrison Barnes has I believe he tied his season high with 32 points tonight. Just absolutely came out of nowhere right when you thought Harrison Barnes was giving the Kings nothing all season long. He comes out and has his best performance of the season, maybe even better than his opening night performance in Utah, where he as well scored 32 points. Obviously, tonight's big story is definitely about Harrison Barnes and his impact. Shout out to HB, who, it can't be easy right now at this point in the season to kind of deal with all the noise of the trade deadline and all that stuff that's going on the outside, to just kind of push all of that aside and put together a performance like he had tonight is really big. And, maybe it does some good for his trade value as well in the long run. Of course, that's going to be on a lot of Sacramento Kings fans' minds, but just a really, really good win, and not really something that the Kings have had a lot this year. Is a game where De'Aaron Fox just is not him. I mean, 12 points tonight, 5 of 16 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. It was not a good night for De'Aaron. I mean, he was never in rhythm. His shot wasn't falling. He was getting good looks, was getting a lot of things short, a lot of things falling off the front of the rim, and it's been that kind of slump for De'Aaron here recently, where he just hasn't really been able to find the same success from beyond the arc that he did at the start of the year. And I think, it's really tough. It's really, really tough to be a 30 point per game scorer. It's really tough to be a 40% 3-point shooter. And it's really, really tough to do that for 82 games especially. And I think De'Aaron's kind of learning about the fatigue and the amount of energy that it really takes to be elite on the offensive end, to still contribute defensively, and to put up efficient numbers the way that he was in the first stretch of the season. But this is exactly why basketball is a team sport. It's not just about one guy. Yes, it's always nice. I mean, you see Joel Embiid have 70 points tonight. You see Karl Anthony Towns have 62 in a loss. It's not just about one player, and that's absolutely why you have teammates to bail you out when you don't have it. And it's great that tonight, when, again, I think the story these past 4 games, even though they've been losses, you've gotten really good contributions out of HB. Or I'm sorry, not out of HB. You got a big contribution out of HB tonight, but you've gotten really good Kevin Huerter games. You've gotten some good Malik Monk games. Domantas Sabonis putting together incredible performances night after night, but they haven't been able to get the result. And it's really good that on a night where none of those guys really had it going, HB took it and ran with it. I mean, we've heard all season long about how HB doesn't have a clear defined role yet with this team, which is insane. And how, he's doing things that don't show up in the box score, and he's not really asked to be a scorer when there's so many other guys who are scorers out there. HB just took it tonight, and he looked incredibly aggressive. And if he can just channel a bit of what he had tonight, I think that's huge for this team. And, I know I've been talking like he's all but gone on these live streams, but I do think that there is a world where the Kings want to keep Harrison Barnes. He's 6'8". He's a guy who, on good nights like tonight, he can definitely provide some scoring, but maybe in a condensed role, he can simplify his role and just kind of find a couple ways to impact the game every single night, instead of, I would say he's overwhelmed or anything right now, but just, again, simplifying the game sometimes can really do wonders for somebody. And I think a bench role for HB, if they do bring in somebody who's a quality rotation or even starter, I think it might do really well for HP. So I'm not completely out on him being a Sacramento King in the future. But, man, if tonight was the last night that Harrison Barnes is going to play here in Golden One Center, it was a really, really cool send-off and a really incredibly unexpected one, which is really fitting just for how HB's career has really been here in Sacramento. You never really knew when you were going to get a big HB night, but man, every single time you got it, it usually led to good things, which is, again, makes it almost even more frustrating when he does play well, because it's like, man, if we can get a version of this guy every single night, I mean, look out. That's how this team could get dangerous. And, I think that we've seen that you just can't really rely on it. But it's really, really good to see HB have a big night and really pick up the load for a lot of guys in that starting unit that didn't have it. De'Aaron, again, 5 of 16. Kevin Herter was 3 of 6. I'm sorry. The other guys, Domantas Sabonis was 4 of 10. Keegan Murray, 5 of 12. So when you have usually Malik, I guess, is typically in that top 3 scorers. When you have 3 of your top 4 scorers going, quick math here, 14 of 22, 38. Quick math says 14 of 38. Really good to have HB be efficient as well. 4 of 8 from 3, 10 of 20 from the field. Can't remember the last time HB took 20 field goal attempts. So shout out HB for, yes, absolutely his veteran presence. Veteran presence tonight, absolutely. And he has shortcake, absolutely. He has heard me throughout the years, and he said, yeah, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. He's been watching a lot of what is that, Pitch Perfect. Shout out Pitch Perfect and the Cup song that took the nation by storm. But yeah, HB definitely is like, you're 1,000% gonna miss me when I'm gone. So keep talking all that now, but just remember, okay? I'd be shocked. I would be shocked, frankly, if HB makes the Kings pay for this. But again, shout out HB for just a huge night. And I really think tonight was, I think I can at least say today was the best defensive effort on this floor that the Kings have had. They held Atlanta to 38.7% from the field, 35% from 3. This is only the 3rd time this season that the Kings have held their opponent below 40% from the field. Funny enough, Atlanta, it happened against Atlanta on the 29th of December. They held them to, as I guess we can get the Twitter portion of tonight started off, because I did tweet this fact out here. Let's go over to Twitter, and we will go, here we go, profile. This is the 3rd time that the Kings have held their opponent below 40% from the field. Again, the first time was on the 29th in Atlanta against this Atlanta Hawks team. They held them to 39.4%. Then the very next game, in arguably their best performance of the season, flat out, they held the Memphis Grizzlies to 36%, and then again tonight held Atlanta to 38.7% from the field. They were just flying, man. They were flying around all over the place. And again, I think that this was, I would definitely say, their best home defensive performance of the year, but it really might be up there just as their most tenacious defensive effort, I guess you can say. It just felt like they were flying around all night long. And, they talk a lot about how when they're at their best, it's almost like they're defending on a string. And tonight you really saw that. As one guy moved out, another guy filled in his place. And that's exactly what team defense is about. And you just haven't seen it too often from this King squad. We're going to move on again, as I said here. Let's throw on the lights. Let's throw on these highlights. Let me see if I can change this view here. I haven't really messed around with the view too much. Let's see. You can't really see me in that one, which why would you want to? This might be the best. Whoa, that's definitely not the best. We're going to go with this view. So, yeah, I mean, right here you have HB, again, getting at it early. He was incredible to start this game, and that's really what made tonight so special for HB. Was it wasn't just a big pop. He had 12 in the first, 7 in the second, 4 in the third, and then finished off with 9 in the fourth. He just consistently was pouring it on, and you love to see that, because I think even in the Utah game to start the year, if I'm not mistaken, he had 27 in the first half and then only had 4 in the second. So it was really good to see HB stay aggressive because again, it's not when he's having an out of character game, you don't want to just see him be out of character for a quarter and a half. It's really good to see him, really embrace the entirety of the game and recognize, I think I might have to take this the entire way. I don't think someone's just going to turn it on here. So good for HB for just, again, keeping his foot on the gas and recognizing this is my night. And I'll be damned if someone else is going to get in the way. Davion tonight I thought was really, really good. Surprised to see minutes from Davion, frankly. I know it's been a common theme with Mike Brown to just kind of spring guys in and out of the rotation, but I cannot say that I had Davion Mitchell and JaVale McGee on my bingo card tonight. But yeah, I thought this is exactly what Davion did the second he got into the game. I need more of this. I know Davion's not an elite three-point shooter, and I know that's been a lot of the focus when it comes to Davion's game, but I really think if you can consistently provide this rim pressure and just using your speed, because Davion is a really, really quick guard. We just don't really see it a lot on the offensive end. You see how TJ McConnell the other night gave it to Sacramento from inside the perimeter. That's the kind of things that Davion needs to do, is just be a menace, use your speed, and get crafty, get tricky. You see even on this layup, he goes up and under to the other side of the rim. More of this, absolutely more of this from Davion Mitchell. And I don't know if he's going to be here the next time this team comes home on February 7th, but if Davion is going to stay around here in Sacramento, this is how he can get back into the rotation, is by attacking like this and having defensive efforts like the one he did tonight. Again, you see JaVale and Malik connecting on the lob. A really, really interesting one for JaVale to go up with his left hand and just kind of paw it in. JaVale and Malik they're a really special tandem in the pick and roll. And I was watching, I think the other night for JaVale's birthday, the Kings posted a bunch of JaVale highlights, and it's all set up from Malik. I mean, he is really, really special. And earlier this week, funny enough, I know this might not be the right setting to talk about it, but we were talking about, some other teams that might be interested in Malik Monk's services next season, as he is a free agent heading into this offseason. And just the thought of him going to San Antonio potentially and throwing lobs to Victor Wembanyama, man, it is crazy to think about that. Just what Malik could bring to Victor's game. I mean, I think that would be incredible. I think it's exactly what he needs, is a pick and roll partner who would look for him but also be a threat on the other end. So shout out Malik for really making JaVale valuable this year, because if Malik's not looking for him on those pick and rolls like he has been, I don't know if we really would notice JaVale at all this year, because he's not the rim protector that he's been in the past. And without his lobs, his offensive game is pretty much nothing. So shout out Malik for being an enhancer of others. That's exactly what you want out of a primary ball handler. And I have not heard this audio yet from Kevin Huerter. I really want to hear how this sounded. He connected with what's his name, the Kevin Huerter lookalike. So let me see if I can hear this in my ears. I cannot. Sorry if you all can hear that. I cannot. Well, hold on 1 second here. Unplug this. Go in here. And now, let's see if I can hear it. Okay, now I can hear it. So we'll hear this Kevin Huerter talking to the Kevin Huerter doppelganger.
Hey, how many jerseys you got?
Jersey, I gotta get on there.
Do you have them all yet?
Career high.
I got you.
That is hilarious. He said, shout out this dude who does sit like, I don't know, 3 rows in front of media row. I'm sure everyone has seen him at this point, but the Kevin Huerter doppelganger shows up to every single game. He somehow, shout out, I think it's Kings Uni Tracker on Twitter, always posts the whatever jersey the Kings are going to be wearing for that next game. The dude must follow him, because every single game he shows up in the correct full uniform, as you can see with the headband and all, and he is very, very noticeable. Very hard to not notice doppelganger Kevin Huerter out there. Let's see here. Sasha. Oh my God, y'all. This 3 from Sasha is incredible. We had a perfect view of it right down the line. This is literally the most perfect swish I've ever seen. just absolutely hits bottom of the net, and it's incredible. He was really, really good tonight. I think he's kind of found a level of comfort in the rotation. I know Mike Brown's kind of yanked his minutes in and out, and it's been really hard for Sasha to just kind of find consistency, especially, coming over from Europe and just all the insecurities that come with that, and then to not be put in the rotation after I'm sure he was guaranteed some promises when he first came over here. He's done a good job of sticking by it, and I definitely think every time Sasha has came in, he's positively impacted the game. And on the defensive end, which has been his biggest question, I really haven't seen anything that's too alarming. I mean, maybe it's because this team as a whole isn't great defensively, but I definitely have not thought that Sasha's defense has stuck out in a negative manner really at all. So I know that's really the biggest criticism on him, but I really haven't seen much of it. And I think if he continues to be a factor hitting his shots, and we've seen him be effective as a cutter as well, if he's going to continue to do both of those things, I think Mike Brown's going to have a hard time keeping him off the floor. And shout out HB here, who this is how you know HB is just in his bag. For them to run an ISO at the end of the half for HB is just insane. It's not something I've seen all year long. I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all, but it's crazy that we just had this game tonight where HB completely took over. Shout out Keegan Murray, who also had a pretty impactful night, hit a couple threes, was good on the defensive end. I thought this was going to be a bigger moment in the game, so I had it bookmarked. Sasha ended up coming back. Interesting thing about this actually is Sasha was questionable pregame for a left ankle sprain, and as I don't know if you can really catch it here, but he twists his right ankle there. So apparently he is now having left and right ankle issues. So that'll be an interesting thing to monitor. And if I had to guess, I mean, I know the Kings don't play again until Thursday, but if you have both of your ankles messed up and you hurt one ankle, possibly overcompensating for your other hurt ankle, I just think maybe Sasha should take one game off, and then I don't think the Kings play again after Thursday until like Monday or something. They have just the weirdest schedule upcoming, so maybe one game off for Sasha just to let those ankles heal, because ankles, you can get them massaged, you can do all you want, but all that's really going to heal an ankle is time. So wouldn't surprise me if Sasha ends up back after Golden State, or who knows, maybe he will play again. I just personally, I mean, maybe I'm soft. I probably am. That's probably the right answer. But you cannot catch me out there on Thursday after injuring both ankles this week. This was really, really good. Shout out Kings Film Room, Sac Film Room, who pointed this out. This is a great defensive possession from Davion Mitchell here. Look as he literally, I mean, he's just all over the place. Let's start this over. Let me not have audio here. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see here, Davion starting off in the paint. As this kind of gets, just, by the way, terrible spacing here. I don't know what Atlanta's doing. Terrible spacing here. You see them get bogey. It's just nobody sets a pick or anything. You're going to see Davion. This looks like an open look here for Patty Mills. Most people cannot close out that far. You can see Bogey's already making eye contact with Patty. This thing is pretty much going up. Davion really quick to recover. Pass isn't even halfway there. Davion sprinting out, full sprint. Good on him. Look at that. Right here is exactly what Mike Brown preaches all the time. See how he's not flying out? So the Kings have this thing called hot guys or hot shooters, where if somebody is labeled, like if this were Bogdanovic, Davion's flying out. He's carefree, just flying past Bogdanovic. He's going to try and run him off the three-point line. But since this is Patty Mills, and Patty Mills is a little bit older in his career, is not as much of a threat from the perimeter, you're going to see Davion here do exactly what Mike Brown wants you to do, and that's break down defensively. And instead of going to contest the shot, he's going to essentially dare him to shoot it and say, look, I'm just going to stand in front of you, and you're going to have to try and get around me. So look as Davion, he kind of overcommits a little. It's tough because he was closing out on a full sprint. But he has to also give Patty Mills some sort of room there, or else he's going to run into the risk of getting a defensive foul for completely cutting off his path. So he does a great job. He stays on his hip there. He does get shoved off a little, but there's two guys here to help, so Davion's going to recognize that. He's going to float around. He looks over to the corner, notices that, instantly flies out to Jalen Johnson, closes out on Jalen Johnson, prevents him from hitting it, and really good contest here on a much bigger defender. I don't know if Jalen Johnson hits it or not. Oh, and Davion gets the rebound as well. What a possession from Davion there. And again, more of that will keep Davion Mitchell on the court. Shout out Davion, who just kind of came out of nowhere and had a really, really productive game today. Really love to see that kind of performance out of Davion. It's got to be tough when you haven't gotten any minutes all season long. Let's take a look at this Onyeka Okongwu poster, because I got something to say about this. This is a charge. I'm sorry. It's a sick poster. It is a really, really good dunk. It's body to body. Maybe you can say Trey, he gets this left arm a little bit into Okongwu, but I mean, like, look at that feet positioning. I'm going to get a different angle here as well. I mean, jeez. That is nasty. Here's another good angle. Shout out Matt. So you can kind of see here, Trey does get a bit there, but oh my God. The fact he finishes this is crazy. Just absolutely crazy. And I think there's one more angle here I wanted to get. Yeah, this is awesome. This is like the sky view angle where I think you can really see here. Look at Trey's positioning. You can see the whites there. That's a block. Or I'm sorry, that's a charge. His feet are set outside the restricted area. The only thing you can say is this forearm right here is just, it's just there. But, like, he's trying to not get slammed on. What else is he really supposed to stand there like a complete statue? Get all the way down floor, sets up the DHO with Sabonis, and that's easy money. I mean, that's Jalen Johnson not knowing your personnel there, buddy. You can't go under on this screen. You just can't. Lazy defense here. I mean, he's not on him. He's not sticking to him. He's letting him back it out. He probably thinks he's about to get ISO'd. But this is just bad IQ. He still has no idea what's going on. It's so clear at this moment that a DHO is going to get ran. He still doesn't recognize it. Not until it's literally being handed off does he recognize it. And look, the ball's already in Keegan's hand. He's still on the other side of this Sabonis screen. By the time this ball's up, he's still not even past Sabonis. So great recognition there from Keegan to get an open look too. Let's see here. This is, again, yeah, really good defensive possession by the Kings. This is one where I thought I think they make a shot here. But look at just all the activity here. This is what they talk about them being on a string. Look at that. Out there. Look at that. Good recovery there from Kevin. I mean, he's just going to make the shot. Let's kind of slow this down a bit, do it bit by bit. Let's see here. So once the drive happens, they at least force Capella to get the ball high. This is exactly where you want Capella receiving the ball. He is not a threat from here. He's really not a threat until he gets to about those dotted lines there. That's great. Honestly, Saddiq Bey needs to be cutting here. If Saddiq Bey cuts, it's an easy 2 points. You can see HB and Keegan have absolutely no idea he's there. So if Saddiq Bey just cuts right there, easy 2 points for Atlanta. You see they're still scrambled. Keegan's not going to commit to either guy yet because he doesn't know. Good on Keegan here to recognize that, to then go out. HB to recognize Keegan's going here, to then X out over to Jalen Johnson, force him towards outside. This is a tough closeout here from Kevin, but he recognizes it about as soon as he can. Gets a good flyby contest. I've got no it. And then the tech and say, "This is my city," or like, "I do this," or something like that. Just hilarious. Pulling up on the rim is why he got the tech. You absolutely cannot do that. You definitely cannot do that. So shout out JaVale. And yeah, man, again, tonight is really about HB and his big game, his big moment. So shout out HB. That was fun to go on there. Next time I'm planning to get sound effects up in here. So be prepared for that. That'll be on the road as the Kings embark on a long road trip here before coming back to Golden One Center again. Like I said, February 7th, the day before the trade deadline. Let's do our 3 stars of the night, unless we have press conference audio, which, by the way, y'all, let me tell you, if you guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of inside tea here, since you guys are joining me on this live stream, which I very, very much appreciate. If you join us after every game, you are incredible. If this is your first time joining, or you just check in periodically, I appreciate that as well. But let me give you some tea for listening today. Yeah, there's a new chapter being added to Podium Gate, is what I will say. We did get to hear from De'Aaron Fox today. We have not heard from De'Aaron in a very, very, very long time, and there is a lot of stuff going on in the background, and I think it's only the beginning. So if you were tired and didn't care about Podium Gate, I would say too bad, because here I think you're going to get a whole lot more of it. And I would definitely recommend everybody check out De'Aaron Fox pregame today. It was on Sean Cunningham's Fox 40. It was on Sean Cunningham's Twitter page, but obviously Sean works for Fox 40. I would definitely check out that interview with De'Aaron, and I'll just say that there's going to be some things. There's going to be some things that come out. I don't know when they're going to come out, but I think it's going to all come out pretty soon. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. And, yeah, let me see. Sorry, I'm checking for if there's any post-game comments here, see if there's any videos dropped yet from Coach post-game. I see Malik Monk spoke with the media. And it looks like that is it so far. So interesting. We're going to do our 3 stars of the night, as you can see listed there on the bottom ticker. My first star for tonight, it was kind of a tough one because, again, HB really went crazy tonight, and we only had Sabonis score 14. Keegan had 13. De'Aaron had 12. Malik had 13 as well. Just a really spread out, really spread out effort across the board there. I'm sorry, I'm seeing that I'm scaring people. I don't want to say nothing bad is happening. It's not going away. It just seems like there's a lot of tension, and I don't know. I've heard that people are working on some things, and I would just say that I just think that people, if you're tired of hearing about availability and all that, I think that you're going to be hearing a lot more of it. So no, do not say no. I'm not reporting Fox in any trade rumors. De'Aaron Fox, I believe, is all but happy here in Sacramento. If anything, this is just all politics, and really doesn't. The fans really, it doesn't concern them. I really don't think that fans cared the first time about Podium Gate, and I don't think that I don't really think that fans should care, because frankly it is a pretty inside baseball and pretty in the weeds stuff, and it definitely seems like something that media cares a lot more about than fans. But it's nothing bad. It's just it's hilarious. We're in the middle of the season, y'all, so there's just a lot of balls in the air and a lot of things happening, and definitely I think it's just funny. So sorry, there's no issue or anything like that, but it's just really funny. There's just a lot of people talking. We're gonna do 3 stars of the night. First star is going to it's gonna go to Malik Monk, who had 13 points tonight, but 8 assists is the big one for Malik. How many times do we have to talk about this man dishing and just setting? I mean, again, I talked about him setting up JaVale earlier and how special he's been there, but just really, really good night from Malik. Nothing crazy. I think it's been a while since we've really had a crazy over-the-top Malik Monk performance, but he's just going to continue to do what he does. He's still going to be in the conversation for 6th man of the year. Definitely is not at the front of that case, but This man Kyle Hamilton is stressed. I'm so sorry. I don't know Kyle. I'm sorry. I've seen Kyle mentioned a couple times. Can you please show Malik steal? I don't know what happened, man. I was not tracking that. I did not have Malik on my prize picks tonight, so I did not see the steal that I guess was never. Kyle seems really upset about some steal that never happened. I did not track that. I did not see that. So I'm sorry. You're gonna have to take it up with your local bookie. But man, that's it was called a kick ball. I hate that, dude. Me and Alan have been talking a lot about, we're doing prop talk on the show, and we've been doing a lot of talking just about how trash it is, man. Not to go on a random tangent or side speech, but it's don't bet, kids. Don't gamble. Sports betting, it's an illusion of knowledge. Okay, nobody knows what's going to happen in any given game, and to try and bet on it is one of the craziest things that we do as humans. I was talking to Alan the other day. I don't think he'll mind me sharing this. He had I don't know, let's just say it was David Montgomery over the weekend to have over 60 yards. And he was like, oh, yeah, like I looked at prize picks and David Montgomery had 68 yards. And I was like, cool, we're chilling. Looked at the end of the game, David Montgomery finished it with 58 yards because he got tackled for loss. So, you know, I can't with betting. I can't with gambling, especially when this Kings team, you're seeing it with your own eyes. Like they'll be 15-point favorites over the Charlotte Hornets and then blow the game. It's nuts. It's just don't gamble, kids. Just don't. It's so sick. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Man, yeah. Absolutely nuts. Interesting. Kyle, I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Maybe I'll look at the film after tonight, and I'll see what the kickball was. Ooh, interesting. Let me know what you think. Chun. Do you think? Yeah. Very awkward, right? Was it not very awkward? Just, here, maybe I'll show it. How about instead of talking about it, here we go. I'm going to be a good host here. And instead of forcing you guys, I'm sorry. Thank you, Chun, for doing the work that I should have done in the first place. So here, hey, what up, Drew? So here is De'Aaron Fox in the pregame. I'm going to share Sean Cunningham here. Shout out Sean, who is always on all of this stuff. Ooh, and we got Malik Monk presser as well. We're going to do this De'Aaron Fox presser real quick as my computer battery is dying quickly. So we're going to play this, we're going to talk about it, and then we're probably going to head out.
Has that been a tough one to kind of swallow, knowing that a lot of these wounds are kind of self-inflicted with this team?
Oh, yeah. I think we could be in a better spot, but here we are.
To see this team kind of also play well on that road trip before you guys came back, is that kind of like the gift?
Whoops. Sorry, y'all. My bad. We're going to skip ahead here.
Be in a better spot, but here we are.
To see this team kind of also play well on that road trip before you guys came back, is that kind of like the gift and the curse of this little stretch?
You have to be able to finish the games, and we haven't done that well.
To have 3 days off, how good was that for you guys?
We had a lot of practice, so.
Was it good, like physically or mentally or both?
There are times where you want rest, but at the end of the day, we still get after each other, try to make each other better.
Keegan talked about how it was a little bit of a
short answers.
Reset. Is that something you can kind of identify yourself and kind of say what might have been needed?
Yeah, not many times are you going to have a big break like that, so you have to take advantage of it when you can.
Short answer.
There's a huge road trip coming up right after this, down until February. Just longest of the season, how do you approach a trip like that with this team?
You just got to go out there and be ready. I think I saw the Philly game. I think for that entire road trip, we played well for the most part. So, like I said, we have to be able to finish games, and I think we'll be in the right spot.
We hadn't talked to you in a couple of weeks. What can you say just about your reasons for deciding not to talk?
Interesting question.
To have Trey not play tonight.
Did y'all see that? Yo, wait, I have not seen this. Yo, this is legitimately the first time that I've watched this entire thing. I saw like 30 seconds of this pregame. This is the first time I've seen him answer this question. Oh my gosh. Oh, yo, that's crazy. All right. I'm rewinding it back. Y'all, watch this. This is hilarious.
I saw the Philly game. I think for that entire road trip, we played well for the most part. So, like I said, we have to be able to finish.
I was not
games
expecting that.
All
right, here we go.
Darren, we hadn't talked to you in a couple of weeks. What can you say just about your reasons for deciding not to talk for a while?
To have Trey not play tonight. To have Trey.
Oh, yo, I want to get a still grab on that face.
Decided not to talk for a while.
I don't know, yo. I don't know if I'm the only one who finds that hilarious. I think De'Aaron's hilarious, y'all. I really do. Like, he's cracked me up for a long time. I don't even know. Something like this is not intentional, but I just think he's so real, man. Like, he's been through it. Like, people forget, or I don't know if people forget, but maybe people are quick to forget that this dude had to deal with one of the worst teams in the NBA for like the first 5 years of his career. And I don't know. I just think that's why I think this whole podium gate thing is really funny, because we've seen De'Aaron talk when this team has lost. I don't know. I think they had 2 9-game losing streaks or something like that in the Luke Walton era. We've seen him talk when things have gone bad for this team. So I think this whole thing is hilarious. I think it's kind of blown out of proportion, but I understand why they have to make it a thing. But again, just for him to just say.
Darren, we hadn't talked to you in a couple of weeks. What can you say just about your reasons for deciding not to talk for a while?
It's like, I ain't got nothing to tell y'all. So, yeah.
To have Trey not play tonight. We've seen guys with step up and absences. How is that as a team like that?
It's just really, really funny. Really, really funny.
They
shout out
won 2 of their last
De'Aaron.
3, so obviously he's not playing to have a.
Let me see if I can find. I don't see a charger over here, so blame Kings Media PR for not grabbing me a charger. But I'm gonna have to end this stream as my laptop is dying now. Man, what a weird night here from Golden One Center. If you want to hear more about Podium Gate, you can check out Styles and Watkins tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I guarantee we're going to talk about this. I think this is so funny. Shout out De'Aaron for, again, just being real, keeping honest. I love his reaction in that moment. There's a lot more I wish I could tell you guys, but unfortunately, again, my laptop battery is dying, and it's not a nothing burger, but this is really just as behind the curtain as you can get. It's really, really funny to me. And shout out De'Aaron, who's been, I think, a good sport about all of this. And we also haven't heard, like, I also don't think De'Aaron had anything to do with this. I think De'Aaron wasn't asked to go to speak to the media. I think this is a whole, something that would tell me that De'Aaron Fox has a lot of words for all of this. And I would just say, this is not De'Aaron Fox's fault. If there's anything you're going to take from this live stream or this whole thing, this is not De'Aaron Fox being mean. This is not De'Aaron Fox being extra. This is not De'Aaron Fox avoiding media. I think that this is something completely different. I don't think De'Aaron is mad at anybody. I think he's upset that his team is in the throes of a losing streak right now, and I think that he's upset that people are questioning the team's leadership, and I think that's really all it is. I don't think there's anything anything malicious or angry going on. I don't think De'Aaron's going to request a trade. I just think that all of this is really, really funny, and maybe I can talk more about it on Thursday But I just can't right now because, again, my battery's going to die. I wish I could be on here with y'all 24/7, but yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be the end. Tune in again tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or on Thursday. If y'all remind me, you guys can definitely remind me on the next stream after the Warrior game, and maybe we can talk some tea. And that's the exclusive that you're going to get here right here on Sactown Sports Kings Recap. I will see y'all all tomorrow or Thursday. Again, sorry I have to leave, but that's what we like to call teas, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a fantastic night as the Kings win here from Golden One Center, 122 to 107. Light the beam.